So this time, we're taking a look from the Masters of the Universe Classics line, the second weapons set that I've owned, and the third that they've done, the so-called Great Unrest weapons pack. Now, it's a blend, for the first time I think, of repainted weapons and some brand new weapons that were supposed to come with the figure but were dropped due to cost, and so now they're available to get through this pack, which is kind of neat now that you think about it. We're first going to start off with some of the older stuff, the recolored pieces, and we're going to start with the recolored Chief Carnivus shield, which is done in this teal instead of a red. I believe it was a deep red, and pretty nice repaint of that. And also you have a repainted Chief Carnivus sword, so it might be neat to give these to the if you have the 2-pack of the Eternian Palace guards, maybe you can give it to the feline character, put the feline head on the one of the guards and give him these weapons to signify that he still holds a little bit of his, his own species arms and armor. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give this sword to Ratlor as maybe a weapon that he won off of the, I forget what the felines are called, but that race. So that's what I'm going to use that for. All of Tila's accessories redone. You have the snake staff redone in this red, and you have the armor also redone in the same color, so you can have a slightly different color. And I don't know if this is just mine or all of them, but I noticed that only one eye is painted on my armor there, so either they mispainted the one eye or they mispainted the other. So if you want to change up the way your Tila looks, you can switch out these. Her sword here is done all in a darker red, almost a burgundy. So you can give that to, I don't know, maybe you could give that to Marlena as a weapon, sort of tying her in to Tila. I don't know who else you could give it to. Only the female characters will be able to hold it because of the thin handle there. You do get a repaint of her shield as well. It's the same design. It's in a light blue. This might go well with Evelyn, so I'm going to see how that looks. Clawful's accessories here. The mace here is almost the same color. It's a little bit brighter green and a, not exactly the same color, but almost. And you get the shield here redone in green and metallic blue, or more like a metallic charcoal, I guess, on the sides here. And I think that also might look cool with Ratlore if you want to give him yet another accessory. And I don't think I'm going to use this. I might just put it on the weapons rack, the Castle Grayskull weapons rack. We'll have to see. Or perhaps, given its nautical kind of theme, maybe Merman will be able to use it. Going back to Tila, we do get yet another repaint of the Eagle Bird of Prey mold. This time in this grayish blue. Almost kind of like a periwinkle. Almost. And this is, of course, meant to be the Zoar, or Zor, that goes with the Temple of Darkness sorceress. So if you manage to go to any of the conventions where that was available, or if you pick one up in December, you'll have a version of that Zoar. It'll be white-ish. Unfortunately, not exactly the same color, but at least they're trying, I guess. So, getting on to, now we have the new weapons, or the omitted weapons, as you could say. And the first here is the Horde Prime staff. And I do not have Horde Prime. I unfortunately missed out on getting him. I'm going to have to look for him on the secondary market. But you get the nice kind of techno staff here. You got some details here. The Horde face and bat symbol there. And that looks pretty cool. I think it'll go really well with Horde Prime once I do get him. So, moving on to another recent figure. This was originally supposed to come with the Snake Man-at-Arms, who, if you look at his shoulders and armor, and he really is meant to provide you with the basis to create a 2002 version of Man-at-Arms. And this is, of course, the arm cannon from that series. And I'm sure that the regular figure it'll look good with too. But to have a accurate to the 2002 cartoon, you would have to get that Snake Man-at-Arms and swap out the head with your regular Man-at-Arms head, and you can have this cannon for his arm cannon that magically appears out of nowhere, almost. So that's pretty cool. I'm not too excited about this, but it is neat. And moving on, we have the Keldor swords. The Keldor figure came with the power sword colored, well, I guess one colored purple, one colored brown. So it was not quite accurate to the 2002 series, whereas this is straight out of that series. And it's pretty neat. On one side you have this ram skull head-like design, and on the other you have this eagle design, and really playing on sort of one side being good, one side being bad, and you can split this into, I know some people have said they've received they've received ones that they can't pry apart. I don't know if they just were not as, I guess, perseverant as I was in getting these off, or if they got stuck together. Maybe there was a glue somehow that got into the mix, or paint, that actually resulted in them being painted shut. But I had no trouble with mine coming out. And as you can see, you can have them be wielded by Kaldor or Skeletor in both hands. They are kind of flat on one side with the pegs and holes, so you'll have to kind of dummy it out in terms of positioning. But it is neat that you would get that. And again, playing on the combining of swords motif that goes on in the lore of the series. There was a solid sword that was given away as a freebie. Was it San Diego or New York Comic-Con? I don't remember which. But if you went there, they gave you a little something. It was a solid sword. So it's just interesting to note that there is that variation. So pretty cool. I don't have a Kaldor. Just having this sword really makes me want to go back and try and find one, though. Okay, now we're getting to the real reason that I went ahead and bought this pack, and that is the Dragoman accessories. Now, Dragoman only came with one of the 4 accessories that he was slated to come with. And that's because he was such a big figure with his wings and his tail. They literally couldn't fit anything more into the package. So all he came with was his flaming sword. And you can see here that they've done a version of the sword that is not on fire. So that is pretty cool. The whip that he was supposed to come with, very nice, same kind of design on the flames as the sword there. So when he has the sword and the whip both in hand, he looks really awesome. And just finishing off the look of the whole character is the flaming shield, which is really done nicely. You have the Raider shield here, which is the same symbol as his chest, and you have the flames, and the flames are actually a separate element here that you can unpeg from the back here and take off, so you can have this sort of plain looking sword and shield, and then have them ignite into the fire version. And just, again, really cool. And I'm glad they decided to pack these things along separately, but still offer them in some fashion. So with that being said, I'll maybe give a look at some pictures of the figures and them holding accessories that I want to try out and see how they look with them. And that'll be it for the weapons pack, the Great Unrest weapons pack. And stay tuned for more Masters of the Universe Classics reviews. And until my next video, I'll see you.